BJPenn.com. As promised last night on our broadcast, we have a special guest today on the special edition of BJPenn.com radio. It's a guy who we don't get to hear from enough, and I know the fans out there are really excited based off the Twitter blasts and everything we got last night to get him on the show. It's Nate Diaz. I know that George and I are honored and privileged to get this opportunity to talk to Nate today. So we have him on the line right now, George. It's Mr. Nathan Diaz from the 209. What's up, Nate? How's it going?
I'm good. How you guys?
Doing good, doing good. So tell us. I know you got some things on your mind. I kind of want to give you the lead here, brother, and see what's going on with you.
Not much. Just training, or trying to get back in training after this last fight. I got some stitches on my nose a little bit, but as soon as I get them out, I'll be back in gear. Training good to go. Okay.
Obviously, it was a tough weekend for you. I don't think anybody expected the fight to go the way it did. What do you do going forward, man? And what are your thoughts on that fight?
I'm gonna just try to stay as busy as I can. Try to get back in gear here and get another fight. There's not much to do, man. I fight for a living, and so I don't have any plans further than that. Just get back in gear here and try to win another fight. I think that
Go ahead.
I think the last fight was a little funny. It could have gone better for sure. I think that. I don't know. I'm just waiting to see what's next. I'm waiting on the call.
Were you surprised? Did anything about that fight surprise you? I know Josh Thompson, because of your relationship with Gilbert Melendez, this is a guy you're pretty familiar with as far as his style and the way he fights. But did he surprise you with anything Saturday night that you weren't expecting?
Not really. I kind of went in there and I don't really want to credit him too much for that fight, you know. I mean, I don't think that he should get too much. I think that was more of a negative on my part than a positive on his part. I think he might have just capitalized a little bit. It's crazy because I know it's because I fought and everything. It's me. So I think that maybe the stop was premature, but I didn't want to cause a scene at the time. You know, I didn't know how I went or how I looked. I was in there fighting, and the guy jumped in and stopped the fight, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here? Why are you stopping the fight?" I didn't think that I was damaged anymore, or better or worse off than I had been in my prior fight, and I thought I was good to go, but at the same time, I didn't want to make a scene, and, you know, maybe I got caught with some combos, and it looked worse off. I think for sure it looked worse than what was really going on in there.
That makes sense because, I mean, you got right up. You know, I think anybody watching the fight could see the look on your face. It didn't look like you were ready for that fight to end. But there's been some talks, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did your brother throw in the towel, or is that just all like kind of rumors?
Yeah, no, my corner threw in the towel. The thing with that is I don't blame anybody for stopping that fight. You know, the ref was doing his job. He got it look like it was time to be over, and my corner did as well. But at the same time, none of them were in there fighting, and
right.
The guy won. The guy won, and he did a good job getting getting the fight stopped. You know what I'm saying? He accomplished his mission. He got in there and he got the fight stopped. But I'm gonna tell you right now, from being in there, I'll tell you that he won the fight, but he didn't beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel defeated. I think that, like I said, I think the guys they stopped it a little early. But then I watched the fight. I make it a point to to like sleep on stuff. I wasn't gonna go in there and be like, why'd they stop it? Why'd they stop it? And then, I look at the fight on TV and I'm like, getting my ass whooped. 'Cause I've seen that happen before. I see fighters get knocked out and they get up there like, I didn't get knocked out. What the hell? But I'll tell you right now that I was all the way in that fight, and but the refs, they thought it was time. They thought it was time to stop the fight, and whatever. He did a good job. He's there to protect the fighters. In my corner too. I'm not mad at them at all for throwing a towel because the difference between our team and most people is that like I got some real motherfuckers in my corner. My real people who actually care about me, and they're my training partners, but they're my friends and my family too. So they're not trying to see me catch any more punches or take any more things, take any more shots than I have to. So yeah, they threw the towel, but I ain't mad at anybody for that.
Okay, I want to touch on one thing you said earlier, Nate. You said that he kind of capitalized on your bad, right? Like you don't want to give him too much credit for the win because it was tough.
He didn't come in there and he didn't put no ass whooping down on me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come in there and make anything happen. I went in there. I have never fought somebody before. I have never fought somebody who has ever wanted out of a fight so bad. And you know what I'm saying? Like he was. I was surprised because I went in there and I expected a fight. I expected him to come in and grab me and try to hold on to me or throw some kicks and move, throw some punches and move. But that motherfucker was straight running, and I had to chase his ass down. I was chasing him the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? I was the aggressor, and
right.
I thought I was reckless. I went in there, and how can you not be against a guy who's running scared shitless for his life? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I went in there, I'm chasing him around, I'm over-aggressing, trying to get a hold of him, and that's due to why I got hit with some shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm over-aggressing, because I'm trying to meet the criteria to win these rounds. The way these rounds and these fights go is, I just saw my brother lose to Carlos Condit chasing him around the whole fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't think for a second that he lost that fight. How are you going to lose a fight when the other guy's backing up? So this guy's running around, I'm like, you ain't going to pull that shit on me. You're not going to run away from me and get away. When that happened with Nick, all I could think in my head, and I talked to Nick, I'm a little bit smaller than you. I would have fucking ran up and cocked that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But there's also repercussions for that. You chase somebody down and get reckless, you're going to get caught with some hot ones. So the guy he kicked me in the head. I watched the fight, a bunch of times. And, I felt when it happened, like I was completely like, what the fuck did this guy stop this fight for, But I'm not going to make a scene. I'm going to go home and watch this, and then we'll talk about what really happened. Because as far as the fight was concerned, I was all the way there, I did get kicked in the head. I watched that, and I stumbled down, and I went to my knees and went on defense right there. And I didn't take any shots after the kick to the head. He did what he does. He does his fast twitch. Jump on there real quick, do a bunch of fights. Hurry, please let me out of this fight. So it was the best thing that happened that happened to the guy. I feel he got lucky. He jumped in there. He threw his punches, and they stopped the fight. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to bash the guy or murder mouth him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking, I would like a rematch too, because he knows he's scared shitless. He'll never talk about no rematch. The UFC won't either, but I know and he knows he doesn't ever want a rematch. You could go ask him that one. And so it's not like some fantastic thing he did. I think it was more my bad than his ups.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, let me ask you this. Before the fight, you said you wanted to go to welterweight. Like, win or lose, you said you were going to go up to 170, that you were pretty much done in the lightweight division. Dana White said he thinks that's a mistake. What are your plans now, man?
Yeah, see, here's the thing, man. I've been in this UFC for 7 years now, 8 years, I think. I've been fighting for 10 years at lightweight. When I started fighting at lightweight, I was a kid. And it's hard work to diet all year and make 155 pounds all year long. And the thing is I fight more than all these motherfuckers, you know? Like, what the hell? Josh Thompson fought probably 3 times in the last 3 years. And then you got fucking, you got, who do you got? Who do you got? You got Gray Maynard and TJ Grant fighting, and the winner gets a title shot, I'm hearing? And I'm confused.
That's what they said.
I'm confused about this because where the fuck has Gray Maynard been? I understand how to get a title shot nowadays, too. You know what? What's the problem is I'm fighting every other fucking month, and I don't get title shot ever because I lose half off of bullshit decisions, and then I win some good fights, but I'm fucking fighting every other goddamn month, and everybody else, like Gray Maynard got knocked out 2 years ago by Frank Yeager. What the fuck has he done since then? I don't even think he's fought. I think he fought Clay Guida in the most boring fight I ever seen in my life. And then,
you're right, man. You're right.
And now he gets to fight somebody for a title shot? Get to fucking work, motherfucker. All of you. Gray Maynard, fucking Ben Henderson, you know, he's been active. He's a good. You know what? I'm going to say something about Ben Henderson. He's a fucking weirdo, dude. He's a strange guy. And his fights aren't very entertaining as far as I'm concerned. And he does good. He accomplishes his mission. He gets the job done. And let me tell you about that guy, though. That motherfucker is not afraid. The last guy I just fought, Josh Thompson, he was scared shitless when I was fighting him. He's running for his life. And, dude, it's unbelievable how scared he was in there. He was running for his life. He's making woman sounds when I was fighting him. He's making fucking bitch-ass lady sounds. And that's not bullshit. I'm not here to talk shit on him. This is reality. He's making woman sounds. He's fucking running out of the clinch. I hit him in the face, and he goes, and makes fucking woman sounds I've never even heard of before during a fight. And I hear his corner, they're yelling, smile at him, Josh, like you do, smile at him. And I'm looking at his face, I'm like, yeah, smile, motherfucker. And there was not a single smile came out of his mouth. He had a look of panic the whole fight. And you have to be in there to fight these guys to know that. This is how it went. And I see him in other fights. He smiles at the guy bouncing around. He didn't have no time for that. He was frantic. He was trying to not get his ass whooped. And that's what I was saying about, I didn't mean to get off topic. I was saying about Henderson. He's a strange guy, but that guy, when I fought him, he was serious, you know. He wasn't afraid. He's there to get his job done and do what he had to do. And I could actually respect that, you know. And
right.
I think as a matter of fact, I think he lost to Gilbert Melendez too. I don't know what happened there. Everybody saw the fight. And I think Gilbert is the lightweight champion in the UFC. I don't know how they just lied to everybody and said that Henderson won that fight. So that was strange too. And I'm confused that Gray Maynard and TJ Grant, the winner of them. I'm sorry, I don't mean to badmouth TJ Grant either, though, because I haven't watched too much of him or seen what he's done, so I can't say what he does or does not deserve. But Maynard, it's like, come on, man, you haven't fought for shit. So, but now I know what to do. I'll probably just try to, since I just lost for a TKO, I think I should probably take 2 years off, maybe in a year from now, fight somebody lame and have a boring decision fight, and maybe that'll get me back into a title shot, because that's what Gray just did.
Yeah, that's crazy, right, man? When Dana announced that Gray Maynard was going to be the next, the winner of Maynard versus Grant was going to get the next shot, I was completely shocked, because like you said, Maynard just lost two title fights in a row. He bounced back with one fight against Clay Guida, and now he's back in contention.
He's not even a top contender or a lightweight anymore. And he got knocked out. I got a TKO or whatever, but I was still in that motherfucking fight. I was still alive, and I was still ready to fight. I'll fight tonight. I'll fight that motherfucker tomorrow. Judge Thompson will never fight me again, ever. Ask him. And then, and now they're giving that motherfucker a fight. And right after a fight, I see Anthony Pettis on the fucking internet talking some shit, talking about how he's still the best lightweight out there.
Right, I saw that.
Yep. Didn't you go to downweight class? Where have you been? Who's he fought? You know what I'm saying? Like, Anthony Pettis hasn't even been fighting either. I'm the only one active fighting everybody. These fuckers are all getting blown up and fucking, they're all like, I belong here and I do this because they just sit there and do good in interviews all day or something. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking do interviews. I fight my ass off every other fucking month. I fight more than anyone in the OC. And these fuckers I'm still the best in the lightweight division. Anthony Pettis, where the fuck have you even been? Who have you fought? You fought Jeremy Stevens a fucking long-ass time ago. And then what, you knocked out Cerrone? Okay, that was a good job. I'm not bad-mouthing Pettis either. I think he's great. He does entertaining shit, and he fights people, and he does well. But what he meant to say was, okay, thank God Nate's out of the picture. Now I'll start popping off about I'm the best lightweight so you can stay in the top pick like I'm out of the picture now or something. Nah, I'm still in the motherfucking picture, and I'll fight your ass tomorrow, Anthony Pettis. Go fight your Aldo and come back here to lightweight division, and I will fight. See, here's the thing. I'm not going to fight at lightweight to fight just some Joe fucking Blow. I'm not going to lose that much weight anymore unless it's going to be worth my while. I'm going to fight at 170, and if I'm going to get my rematches with any types of Gray Maynard or Josh Thompson or anybody I ever lost to who never even really beat me, I will fight these motherfuckers. And I'll go to lightweight for my rematches. Other than that, or a top contender. Other than that, I'm staying at I'm going to 170, and I'm never making weight again. Never making 155 again unless it's for my while. I've been doing that shit too much. It's too much dieting and too much on my body to do that shit all year long. Unless it's gonna be worth my while. I don't get millions of dollars to do that shit. So, as far as being a lightweight, I'm still a lightweight. I'm just going to rep it in a different weight division.
I can respect that. Let me ask you this, though, Nate. You were doing really good at welterweight until you met Rory McDonald, right? And this guy kind of, I think what a lot of fans saw and a lot of analysts saw in that fight was that your frame, the way you're built, you're better suited at lightweight, so that way guys can't just kind of muscle you around like he did. What are your thoughts on that? And are you prepared to face those bigger welterweights? And how do you deal with somebody like that going forward?
Yeah, well, I'm big too. I'm the same size as Nick. I'm the same size, and I didn't leave the welterweight division because I got beat by Roy McDonald and because he was strong or some shit. That's what people said, right? That's just what people figured.
Right, exactly.
I left the welterweight division because when I left the lightweight division, I was fighting top contenders. And then I went to 170, and they were giving me all these big, strong, tough guys who nobody knew. Okay? I fought Roy McDonald. No one knew who the fuck Roy McDonald was when I fought him. He lost to Kanye. Right. That's all he had done. I'm like, okay, this is a tough guy, a hard guy to fight, but I'll fight him. I don't give a shit. I was younger then. I fought Don Kim, who was a top contender, but no one knew who he was. They all knew who I was, but I went and fought them, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to fight these guys who are hard to beat, but no one knows them. At 170, when I was just fighting all the contenders at lightweight. I guess I'll go back to lightweight. Fuck it. I'll fight some contenders over there. So what happened? I went back to lightweight. I got the Gomi fight, the Cerrone, and the Miller fight. So why would I stick around 70 to fight Joe Blows when I could fight top contenders at 55? You know what I'm saying? More high-profile fights. I'm trying to get the best fights I could get. His career and my life is going by 100 miles an hour, especially when I'm fighting every other month. So it's like I want to get good fights. I don't want to be fighting bullshit fights, especially now I'm older, man. I've been fighting for 10 years. I'm one of the younger guys in the whole UFC too. I was the youngest guy to fight in the UFC. I was 21 when I was on the Ultimate Fighter. I fought 3 people and I finished them all. So I started young, but I've been fighting for 10 years. I've been fighting since I was 18. So I'm like,
Go ahead.
I'm like, when am I gonna keep making weight and fight? And now I just lost to Thompson, so they're gonna give me some bullshit fight or something. Why ain't gonna make no weight for no bullshit fight? Fuck that.
I don't think anybody out there wants to see you in a bullshit fight, and I think the UFC would be foolish to give you anything but somebody with a good name value.
I want a contender on some real shit. I want a contender, a top contender. Top 5, I don't think I should be out of the top 5. I fought Thompson because I think he's an OG. You know, he's the only guy one of the only guys that had been fighting longer than me. So I was like, how the hell? And I was a top contender, and he was not a top contender, which I don't even believe in or give a shit about the rankings. But how am I going to say no to fight Josh Thompson? You know what I'm saying? Especially when I just told everybody Gilbert Melendez is the best lightweight in the world, and he just fought Josh Thompson. Where am I to fucking say no to that fight, you know? I could say no to a fight that they fucking try to give me some new guy, some new young kid or some shit, but Thompson's been around, you know. I gotta fight that guy if they're gonna offer me that fight. He deserves to have good fights as well, you know. He's been in this a long time. It's a rough sport. So
yeah, and he's good, and he kind of showed that. I mean, he did walk away with the win. He's had some wars with Gilbert Melendez, you know. So Josh Thompson is definitely a worthy adversary.
For sure. He's going and do well here for however many years he's got left, and still scared as fuck when I fought him. No lie about that.
So if all you want is big fights, the move to welterweight, are you going to be picky with who you fight up there? Are you going to want a top contender up there too? If the UFC offers you, like what you're saying, some Joe Blow, are you going to say no and you're going to hold out for somebody good?
I want to fight Condit or Ellenberger or somebody top notch. I'm not trying to get no funny fights. You know, I'll fight anybody, but I mean anybody who's worth it. You know, I'm not trying to fight. I'm trying to have entertaining fights too, man. This career is flying by. Like I said, I'm trying to get something good and with my wallet. And if I could get my good fight at lightweight, I'm with it. You know. So but I don't think anybody wants to fight me. Like I said, I think Pettis thought I'm out of the picture. I think he thinks I'm out of the picture. That's why he's popping off. And I know he don't want to talk no shit to me, but I was talking shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's still the best lightweight. We'll see. Come back up to lightweight, and I'll fight you right now.
So Nate, you know, you think it's going to be like it's like a pattern, you know, with guys when they get in the cage with you or your brother, for that matter. A lot of them don't want to fight you. Like they don't want to engage. A lot of circling out or running, however you want to call it. Do you think that's going to be a problem at 170 also, that guys just don't want to engage with you, fight with you? Because it happens to your brother a whole lot too.
Yeah, it could be. It could be the strategy they're all seeming to pick up on, but I'm going to work on strategy for that as well. Not that I already haven't been.
Yeah,
and I just want to say, too, this last fight, that whole fight could have went the distance if I would have done what he was doing. What if I would have not walked forward? There would have been no fight. You know what I'm saying? Because his plan was to run. Yeah. And I gave him what he wanted, and I chased his bitch ass around. And I think that if I would have been just standing there and it could have wanted me to fight, I could have knocked his ass out and come in and trying to poke in at me. But that's not how I am, man. How you going to not chase a guy down who's running for his life scared shitless? Corner's yelling at him. So it's like smile at me. He the last thing he did is smile. Watch that fight. You won't see him smile once. We watch all of his other fights. He's jumping in, smiling, having a blast. So I make the fight for these guys too, especially like when I fought Clay Guida. I got fight of the night when I fought Clay Guida. If you watch that fight, I punch his ass up and I talk hella shit to him, and I was like, "What, bitch? Come do something." And then watch what he does. He grabs a hold of me and he does not let go. It's the most boring fight strategy I've ever seen. If you watch that fight, and then it's weird because I got his fight of the night because I talked shit to him and I threw my hand up and I did what I did, finish the fight and do what I could. I lost the fight. But then he got a fight of the night, and I got fight of the night. And ever since then, I was like, why the hell did he get fight of the night when he didn't do shit? So I won him $65,000 that night. And the same thing with this motherfucker. I'm chasing him down, and people were like, I'm sorry you lost, but that was a great fight. I'm like, you know what made that fight great? I don't mean to sound like a cocky asshole, but I made that fight great because I was fucking making a fight happen. You know what I'm saying? If I went in and walked forward, there would have been no fighting going on. I had to chase his ass down and make something happen. Unfortunately, I made myself fucking get caught with a kick, and he jumped in with some spazzy punches. And if you notice, after the kick, too, he didn't land no shots. I rolled over, I put my defense on, and the fight was over before I knew it. Like I said, no one knows. It looked bad, too, and I seen it, and I'm not mad at them for stopping that fight. I could bitch and rant all day about it. I don't mean to sound bitter because I lost. I'm pretty fucking irritated.
and rightfully so, Nate. Let's talk about the fans real quick, man, because over the past few years, I have seen the evolution of the Diaz brother fan base go, like, through the roof. I mean, your brother's always been well-loved and well-received by the fans, but it seems like once you got in the picture and people could see that you guys fight the same, and you guys have this fighting spirit that I think that fight fans really admire and enjoy to watch. I don't think anybody cares if you win or lose out there. They just want to see you fight. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because we haven't talked about that. I've never talked about that with you. But the your fan support is probably one of the biggest out there. You know, you guys rivaled the top stars and the top draws with your fan base and the type of ovations you get from the crowds.
I think it's great, man. Like I think a lot of my fan base, our fan base, if you will, because a lot of people kind of throw us in as the same person, me and my brother, you know. They'll say, Diaz brother's kid. People call me Nick half the day anyway. And but I think it's cool, man. These people out here, I don't beg for fans like people do, you know. Some people are out there like, thanks to my fans, and I think it's all like a sales pitch to fans to get fans, you know. And I don't sit out there and try to ask for fans, and I don't thank them ever, and I'm not like, you know, praising the Lord for fans or anything in public. Like I see a lot of people do that, and to me, these fans, they start following anyway, and I see them write positive, great things on the internet about us, on YouTube, and it's all due to it. And like I'm not asking for it, and they're still there, and I think that's great. That's hardcore, you know, that they're still, like, you know, I appreciate it a lot. And I think it's cool that there's supporters out there and people who rep us like to do, and just in case, like I said, I don't sit there on TV and be like, thank you, fans, but I really do appreciate it. It's cool, man, that they're out there repping for us.
It really is. It really is cool, Nate. I mean, it's something that you guys, you know, both you and your brother, I think, should be very proud of, man, because, I mean, it's almost unheard of to have such loyalty from your fan base, and I mean, you guys have to have one of the absolute biggest fan bases out there, and I think that's really fucking awesome, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's funny to me. I see on like Instagram and Twitter, somebody talks shit to me. They say some harsh things, man, and then without me saying anything, I'll have these fans just jumping all over them, and it's hilarious. So cool that they got our back like that.
Yeah, why do you think that is, man? Like, I mean, he was just mentioning, like, you know, the way you fight, like, you guys, like, really go out there and throw down, and they respect that. But is that why you think they all, like, you know, I mean, undying support for you guys?
Yeah, and also, too, because, man, like I said, have you seen these fucking fights lately? They're weak. They're lame. You got Grant Maynard about to fight for a title. He fought twice in the last 2 years. I'm telling you, man, the problem is I'm over-fighting. I'm over-fighting the fuck out of myself. Yeah. Because when I fight like crazy, everybody's like having my back, and I'm building this fan base. All these other motherfuckers are not fighting, and they're sitting there trying to build a fan base on the internet and promoting themselves, doing every other thing, and they're getting title fights. if I would just stop fucking fighting for 2 minutes, maybe I could build 2 wins in 2 years and get a title shot. So I think that might have something to do with it, that I'm just fighting away. And the fans, I think a lot of them could respect that. They just see me fighting, and that's all they see me do. They don't see me on a damn fucking car commercial or a damn deodorant can or no funny shit like that.
You could have done what Chael did and asked for a title shot in the weight class above you right after your last title shot. That's exactly how he got into a title shot.
Yeah, that's what I was planning, actually. If I would have won that last fight, I was going to be like, I'm going to 70 to fight for a fucking title, because GSP didn't look like the most entertaining fighter anymore either. These guys are just trying to win these rounds, and it makes for boring fights.
Yeah. Here's something off topic, Nate. Before I forget, I texted you this a while ago. I didn't get a response, and no hard feelings or whatever, brother. But my girl really wants to know this question, man. We see all these Diaz brother video parodies, these cartoon Diaz brother stuff. There was one that was put out today. Nick Diaz goes on a blind date, right? And I'm wondering, do you guys sit back and watch those, and can you appreciate that, or do they get under your skin? What are your thoughts on those videos?
They're cool. They're pretty funny. I watched that one. I watched that one last night too. The Nick Diaz on a date one.
Yeah.
It had me rolling, man. It was funny. It's funny stuff. That's not even at all how it is, but it was hilarious because it's funny because I like people make assumptions of how we are, and then they throw it on a video, so they're pretty entertaining.
It's pretty cool, man. You guys are these guys that make these videos kind of immortalize you. You and your brother, and even though that, like you said, is probably not the way you guys really are, but they are entertaining. So it's good to see you can take that stuff lightheartedly.
Well, we sitting in a room full of us after training a bunch of our boys sitting around the house, and some of our friends will throw them on. They'll throw them on and just to embarrass us or something, but they're pretty funny, man. We get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of it. Get ask Nick what he thinks of it.
That's cool, man. I've been wanting to know that.
Yeah, man. I'm over here ranting and shit, and I'm going crazy, thinking like a motherfucker. But I don't mean to get on here and badmouth people online and shit. But I've held my breath for too long. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta just tell you how it is and let people know how it is. And like all this shit I'm talking about, these lightweights, it's all the truth too. I'm not talking shit. If I'm out of line, just let me know, or tell them to let me know, or tell them their thoughts on it, and then they don't have too much of an argument with anything I said. I don't think. If they do, we can handle this.
Well, I mean, you're keeping it. You kept it real on this conversation, man. And I think that's one of the reasons why the fans love you so much. And I don't think we could ask for anything more. It's good. It's good. You gotta let your word out every once in a while. I know you kind of shy away from interviews unless the UFC makes you do them. So I'm really glad that you've taken the time out today to talk to us, brother. I have another question. It's something that I read on the forums, and people made a big deal about it. Was your disclosed pay rate on this fight, and as compared to your last one? Now, who knows what the real pay rate is? But did you take a drastic pay cut after the Benson Henderson fight?
Do
you even talk about that?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm getting paid about the same. So nothing went.
Okay.
Nothing. Okay. Everything is the same. It could always be better.
Of
you know
course.
what I'm saying? A lot better. But the pay that was online is not the truth. They took care of me. All right.
I figured as much, but people see stuff. The athletic commissions, they release these numbers, and then people like to analyze that. So there was a big uproar, kind of like, what the hell is the UFC doing to Nate's paydays? What's going on there?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny because I went to Monterey the other day, driving, and I was driving by all these nice houses on the beach and shit. And I was looking at these houses, and I was thinking in my head, especially how crazy I'm going over this fight and shit, man. It fucking drives me nuts. and I'm looking at all these nice houses on the beach, and I'm driving in my car, and I'm like looking at these houses, and I'm like, and thinking in my head, I'm like, who the fuck did these people fight to get these houses?
Right.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, no fighters can afford houses like this. What the fuck? I picked the wrong career. I should fucking do whatever these people are doing. Because how do you get a house like this without fighting fucking 3 times a year or some shit? So it's pretty. I don't know. Makes me think funny shit. So, but yeah, my pay is better than it says, but it could always be better.
Cool. I'm sure letting the fans know that will kind of calm their temper a little bit when it comes to that topic there.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. You came out. We won't take up too much of your time. This is the Nate Diaz special, though. BJPenn.com radio. So it's all about you today, brother. You came out on Twitter after the fight and said UFC, more weight classes, more champion versus champion, more super fights. You know, what are your thoughts on that? Where did that come from?
I was thinking that for a long time. See, if I would have won that Ben Henderson fight, I was going to pop off and say, we need some more weight classes ASAP. So, and now I say after I lost, everybody's like, shut up, you get your ass whooped. So, it really don't go too far with lose. But, like, think about it. In boxing, there's every 5, I think it's 5 to 8 pounds or some shit like that, right? And they're bitching about how George and Anderson aren't going to fight each other. And it's like I think George should take that fight. Who am I to say, though? He can do whatever he wants. Like, but how can you be mad at them for not fighting? That's a huge weight difference. 15 pounds, 85 to 205, or what weight is that? 70 to 85? It's like, how can you be mad at them and not offer them $10 million to fight each other? $20 million, because that's a big weight difference. You know what I'm saying? If they were 5 pounds apart, then it wouldn't be as big of an argument. And then, like, I think the coolest thing would be is if you got a championship and you could fight down a weight class and up a weight class, and say you beat those champions, and then you could hold 3 titles, just like boxing or something. You could be the champion of 3 weight classes, and then you could get more super fights as champion versus champion, and fights won't be as boring because you won't have guys 20 pounds apart. You know, you won't have some guy who dropped to 55 from 190, and then a guy who dropped from 65 to 55. You know, so I think the weight will be closer together, and it'll make for better fights. And I just think it would be a good idea. You know, and I'm sick of making 55. I think I don't think that I can reach my maximum potential at 55 every single fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I can.
Too hard on you.
Yeah, I think I can't hit my maximum potential for certain fights, but every single fight, you know, it gets hard losing that weight. And then at 170, I don't think I could get my maximum potential out of that either, because I could for certain fights, but then what happens when I find some guy coming down from 210 pounds to 170? You know? And then I'm coming to 180.
Well, what do you think about this, Nate? Well, what I always thought would be the right way to do it would be same-day weigh-ins. That would solve a lot of problems, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but nobody wants to do that shit. Everybody wants to make their weight. Fuck that. But, you know, I guess if that's what they want to do. But I think the day before weigh-ins is cool. But why, if we had it every 10 pounds, I think that would be make for a good, better fight. You know, not just for my sake, for everybody's sake. I think it'd be cool to have more weight classes, more champion versus champion, and I don't know, maybe not even now in my career, but after, you know, maybe let's just put it into consideration. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think that probably sometime in the future, probably in the more distant future, it might go down that way, because the UFC, you see, they're at.
Do you think there would be that big of an argument if George fought at 170 and Anderson fought at 180 or 78? Then there wouldn't be that big of an argument to get them to fight, you know. But as of right now, why should they fight each other? They're fucking like two. Look how big Anderson Silva is, and look how big George is. It's just like doesn't even look like a fight. If you saw them walking down the street, like you wouldn't be like, I would like to see those two fight each other. You'd be like, no, they're a fucking totally different match. So I don't know.
What do you think about how like some of the high level grappling tournaments? I think even ADCC does like same day weigh-ins.
We just talked about that.
You just yeah. Well,
it's okay. George had to step away for a second.
I stepped away for a second, yeah. But at any rate, yeah, because they were doing the same day weigh-ins for ADCC, but a lot of guys are talking about how they'd still cut the weight anyway and come in just completely emaciated and just completely cut all the weight within a couple of hours. So
yeah, you don't want to do that for a fight. You can take some punches. You know, fuck that from and then you got to fight somebody. But yeah, I think actually, if the day before weigh-in still would be great. You know, everybody wants to weigh in the day before and get their meals in and their IVs or whatever they're doing. But just more weight classes would be cool, you know.
Is it? But does too many belts in too many weight classes, does that like dilute the championships, you think, or does that make them not as important, or?
No, it makes more fight. The UFC's buying up every goddamn fighter there is anyway. They might as well give them some more weight classes to fight in, and I think that fighting for a belt is it's cool, man. I don't know if you could hold the belt in 3 different weight classes, that'd be awesome. Dude. That's the Superman right there. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna do that if you're gonna fight at 55. 70 and 85. That's a 55er is not an 85er, you know. A whole nother.
Yeah.
Like they don't even talk about that in boxing. A guy going from 55 to 85, that's fucking ridiculous. that's like 6 weight classes or some shit.
Yeah. Well, when you compare everything to boxing, yeah, it definitely. I think most of the hardcore fans and a lot of them say, well, we don't know who a lot of these boxing champions are in some of these incremental weight classes, and they only recognize in the UFC they have had the weight classes are so far apart, 155, 170, 185, 205, that everybody kind of recognizes the champions as soon as you say their name. So
yeah, but the UFC's got a lot of promotion too, man, and everybody's watching and everybody's paying attention and the Twitter thing, and I think that everybody would know who's who. Shit, they're bringing women in here now.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They're bringing women. They're bringing all these smaller guys in. Guaranteed. It may not happen between lightweight and welterweight, but I would say that one day down the road, they'll probably start off with something between light heavyweight and heavyweight and trying to close that gap a little bit, because that's a big gap. That's 205 to 265, right? That's the biggest gap there is right now. That's definitely one they need to close.
Yeah.
When can we expect you? When can we expect you back, Nate? I know you have to let the stitches heal and all that stuff, but like realistically, when will fans see Nate Diaz back in the cage?
I don't know, man. Like I said, I train for a living. I'm a martial artist, so as soon as I pull these stitches out, I'll be in the gym, get my work on, and wait for the call and wait for the right fight and show up, and then I'm ready.
Okay. We've had you for close to an hour. Oh, George has one more question for you, bro.
Yeah, just since you brought that up real quick, I was just going to ask you, like, you and your brother are definitely martial artists. You train separate styles, train with pure boxers, pure judo people, pure jiu-jitsu. Like, what do you think, what do you think separates that? There's some guys who are like, I'm a fighter, but you and your brother are like, we're martial artists. What separates the two? Because, a lot of guys are wanting to be fighters, but you're two of the only guys in the sport that say, no, we're martial artists.
Yeah, well, we are martial artists. I live by martial arts. I train. If I quit fighting today, I would train. You know what I'm saying? It's what I do. And my whole life, I grew up in martial arts. I grew up watching martial arts movies. That's all I wanted to see on TV. I'm fascinated by it, weaponry, you know, in knife fight, war, all of this, man. It's just like it's kind of a way of life. And then you got these guys out here who are just like there's athletes and round winning guys that are just getting by and trying to make a job and a career out of this. Just like I fight too. Also, on top of being a martial artist, I fight because I have to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like when I started fighting, it's all I had to do. I didn't have a job, I didn't have an education, I didn't have all this stuff going for me like other people do. People like these guys who are fighting are fucking college kids, college graduates even. You know what I'm saying? They're straight out of colleges. And I'm like, what the hell made you come fight? You wanted to do it because it was cool or something? It's like, I didn't sign up to fight. It's just the way my life has happened this way, you know? So I think, you know, that might have something to do with it. It's just the way we live. It's the way I live anyways.
Amazing, Nate. We've kept you for about an hour, brother, and we could keep you for an hour longer. I think this conversation it's always good to talk to you, man. And you know, you don't do enough interviews, bro. We talked about this last night. You know, you don't want to bore people when you don't have anything to say, is what you told me. You know, but I think the fans will always tune in for a Nate Diaz interview. I really want to thank you for giving us the opportunity here at BJPenn.com radio to get your word out to everybody. We're going to blast this thing out. Make sure your voice is heard. Is there anything we missed that you need to get off your chest before we let you go, bro?
No, I'm good. Thanks for calling and giving me the time. And watch out for my boy this weekend fighting, Yancy Madero. She's fighting out of Hawaii, too, actually. He trained with us. And I think he lives on Oahu over by Makaha Beach.
Right
and
on.
He's fighting on
Lost
that
connection
this weekend at UFC. So check out my boy. And thanks for having me, guys. Sorry for ranting to you guys for too long.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro. And anytime, you know, you're always welcome. I know I hit you up sometimes, and, you know, you don't ever feel bad about not having anything to say if you don't want to do an interview, you know. I understand how it is, but I appreciate it when you do come out and do them. So thanks a lot, Nate.
Yeah, keep hitting me up. I'll be around.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, bro. All right.
Great. That was Nate Diaz, and what an awesome interview I think that was. What do you think, George?
Yeah, it was just kind of it was almost, I don't really consider it an interview. I think it was just like kind of an outlet for him.
Yeah. He's a real interesting guy, and I think everybody at home knows that. I think all the fans, it's one of the reasons why they liken themselves to the Diaz brothers so much is because these guys are completely unique individuals, and they don't go about things in the same manner we're used to seeing with UFC fighters. So yeah, we let him vent. I think he got everything he needed to get off his chest, and I think that he addressed the fans, and the fans should really appreciate that honesty from him, and you know, the updates and where his mind's at after that loss. So it was good.
Yeah, for sure. There a lot of the funny things were the details about what was going on in the actual fight itself, like what was going on inside the cage. Like,
he said Josh Thompson was making girl sounds. He said when he was hitting Josh Thompson, he was sounding like a little bitch. He said he sounded like a girl. He's getting hit. He's going, I'm like, are you serious? Like, Nate is keeping it so real right now. It's not even funny.
Yeah. I was like I was just kind of shocked listening to some of this stuff, because if this stuff was going on, you would never know watching it from your couch on TV, or, you know, I guess you wouldn't even know at cage side. It would have to be something that goes on that only the two fighters know.
Yeah. Very interesting interview. I also am super glad that he can look at these parody cartoons of him and get a laugh out of it, because, you know, you never know, which is like something that we wanted to know with that, you know, especially Amber Paxton. Check her out at the Amber Paxton on Twitter if you guys haven't checked her out already. But my girl, she's like, you know, these brothers are so hardcore. Are they going to actually like these videos? Do they like these videos, or do these videos piss them off because they kind of make fun of them? You know what I mean? But it's good to see that we don't know what Nick thinks of them, but at least from Nate's point of view, they get he gets a crack out of them. He thinks they're funny. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and what I should have asked him is that apparently at one point he didn't think the Renato Laranja was too funny. But
yeah, we should have asked him about that. Well, I already talked about that with Caesar quite a bit, but would have been interesting to get Nate's point of view. Caesar said that it wasn't funny, like that was not a joke, that Nate didn't appreciate that, Nate didn't know who he was, but it would have been interesting to get Nate's perspective on that.
Yeah, for sure. It also was interesting his take on the weight classes and where he's going to head from here.
Yep, that was a good interview. This is the first time we've done an off the cuff interview with somebody. We always broadcast every week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for a couple hours. This is our first Thursday show. We did it specially just for Mr. Nate Diaz. So hopefully the fans liked it. I liked it. I think it was a good interview.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good stuff. Just like I said, just let Nate get some stuff off his chest and kind of vent and
how can you not
what he had to say.
How can you not love that guy, right? I mean, it's just freaking unreal.
I want to this. I picked him to win.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say I'm not disappointed because that dude brings it when he fights. You can't, like, when I watch Nick and Nate fight, it's like, all right, no matter what happens, it's going to be a fight. It's not going to be a shitty fight because one of them.
No, yeah.
I have a lot of respect for.
If you're an MMA fan, if Nick or Nate fight, you don't miss that fight. I mean, if you're a true fan, no matter who they're fighting, it doesn't matter who they're fighting. It's the fact that they are fighting.
Yeah.
And you catch those fights, and I think everybody watches those fights. I don't. Even if somebody doesn't like them, which I'm sure there are people out there that don't appreciate their spirit and the way they talk trash, and they got those haters out there. But as a whole, man, I mean, you got to have respect for those two.
Yeah. I mean, Nate's a warrior, man. When he goes in there, he goes in there to really scrap it out. So it's always fun to watch him fight, and that's why I have a lot of respect for him. And I mean, a lot of respect for Josh also, but Nate, he's been doing it for a long, long time. He even said it himself. He's been fighting in the UFC for what, 7 years or so.
I guess it's been 7 years, man.
So
it's been a while. I mean, he was on BJ's Ultimate Fighter show.
Yeah, that's right.
He was on BJ's season. Okay, well there it is. Anything more you'd like to say?
No, man. I think we pretty much covered it the past 2 days. We've had a lot of done a lot of radio. So.
Done a lot of radio. Some people do radio every day. We do it once a week. We did it twice a week. That's double our performance time than usual. So we've definitely put in the time this week. Everybody at home, check us out on Twitter. George, what's your Twitter?
At GMatthewsMMA.
Okay, and I'm at LATL Pedro. The radio show is at BJ Penn Radio. And as always, check out bjpenn.com for all your MMA news updates.